This episode of After the Quiet contains personal experiences and discussions of coercive control, emotional abuse, infidelity, and marital counseling. Some content may be distressing or triggering for listeners. Hi, and welcome back to After the Quiet. This is episode 59. Today's episode is one that's complicated for me to tell because it involves someone I love deeply. My mom. At this point, our separation was moving forward. Lawyers were involved. There were documents to gather, financial paperwork to organize, and I was trying to do all of this while taking care of 3 kids during the summer and preparing for a new school year. On top of that, he had insisted that we put the house up for sale, so everything felt unstable. Everything felt like it was shifting all at once. And then, out of nowhere, he called my mom. It was close to my birthday, and he asked her if they could meet. And she said yes. And I want to say this clearly. I don't blame her. Not at all. Because the truth is, she didn't know everything. Actually, she's listening to this podcast now. And a lot of what I've shared has been eye-opening for her. She's told me she feels guilt. Guilt that she didn't see it. Guilt that she didn't know. But this is important. It wasn't her fault. Because I didn't tell her. I was embarrassed. I grew up being told I was smart, gifted, intelligent. I was supposed to figure things out, fix things, handle my life. So, how do you admit that something like this is happening to you? How do you say, I don't have control over my own life? So I didn't. And because of that, when he reached out to her, she saw someone she had known for 20 years. She met him when he was 17. He had gone on family vacations with us. He was the best man at my brother's wedding. He wasn't just my husband to her. He was like a son. So when he called her crying, she wanted to help. He told her he didn't know what he was doing, that he wanted his family back, that he wanted to fix things. And then he gave her an explanation. He blamed steroids. He told her that instead of doing one 6 to 8 week cycle, that he hadn't stopped, that he had been using since late January, and now it was the end of August. He blamed the steroids for everything. His anger, his behavior, his choices, even being with another woman. And my mom, she wanted the best for me, for my kids. She wanted that picture That family that people hold on to. The one that looks whole, safe, fixed. So she suggested marriage counseling, and he agreed. And when she brought that back to me, I was angry because I didn't want to fix this. But life wasn't simple. My dad wasn't well. My sister was about to have a baby. And I couldn't imagine being a single mom with 3 kids, moving back into my parents' home, trying to rebuild everything from scratch. So I agreed. We went to counseling, and I wish I could say it helped, but it didn't. Those sessions were some of the most confusing and painful moments, because somehow I was the one being blamed for him cheating. I wasn't a good enough housewife. I wasn't sexy enough. I didn't do certain sexual things he wanted. And I sat there, listening to it, trying to understand how his choices were being turned into my failures. At one point, the therapist asked him a simple question. What do you love about her? And his answer is something I will never forget. He said, I love her because she puts up with my shit. That was it. And I should have heard it. I should have understood what that meant. Because that wasn't love. That was tolerance. That was convenience. That was someone knowing they could treat you however they wanted, and you would stay. Looking back now, I don't think he ever loved me. I don't even think he liked me. There was nothing about me he spoke of with care, with admiration, with respect. The only reason I was there was because I allowed it. He even admitted something else in those sessions. He said he would start arguments with me because it bothered him that I didn't fight back. So he would escalate, push further, say worse things, just to get a reaction. And then came the moment that should have ended everything. He told the therapist, I only want to fix this marriage if she can promise me that she will never do to me what I just did to her. Let that sink in. He didn't want to fix the marriage unless I could guarantee that I wouldn't cheat on him someday. Not accountability, not remorse, not repair, control. Even in that moment. And still, I stayed. And this is the hardest part to admit. Trying to fix that marriage is one of the biggest regrets of my life. Because the 4 years that followed were the worst years I lived through. And even now, 7 years after finally leaving, it hasn't fully stopped. He has controlled the narrative, alienated my children from me, used the legal system to continue the abuse. It doesn't just end when you leave. And that's something I wish more people understood. If you're at that point where everything in you is telling you something is wrong, listen to it. Because I didn't. And I paid for it for years. Thanks for listening to After the Quiet. Please remember to subscribe to this podcast and share it with others who might need to hear my story. And also join me on Instagram at after.the.quiet. If you recognize parts of my story in your own, please reach out to someone who can give you support, or look for that support in your community. You are not weak for needing help. You are human. Your voice deserves to be heard.